Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
As always, Stephen Medagliaco.
And...
Angie Yo. Where they're also watching it.
They're watching it, they're on YouTube. We're joined here by a very special guest today, the one, the only, Bryan Johnson.
Well, thank you for having me, boys. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you.
I got to be honest. I didn't know you guys did video.
This is new.
This is new.
This is
the first official episode of it.
Yeah.
Second.
Yes. So yeah, people have seen our ugly mugs for the first time.
Okay. Because I would have done my hair a little nicer. Everybody here has such nice hair, and especially you. Look at you, man.
Yeah,
That's some fucking coiffure you got going on there.
That's like a cheat code.
Yeah,
That's a cheat code.
Hey, we grease it up, all right?
You are a disgustingly greasy human being.
I like pepperoni.
So, do you know anything about the show? Like,
I know nothing. I came in totally blind, but I'm gonna start listening because I've been looking for a podcast. Like I only listen to two right now.
okay.
So
What are they?
I got to bang it up. What's up?
What are they?
It's who are these podcasts?
Okay.
And
Carl.
Carl, and the Creep Off, which is the one he does with Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the only two I'm listening to right now. But I'm looking to expand my horizons, and this could be it.
I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of your show with the great Eric Nagel over on
Are you
Compound.
really?
Yes.
You're the one. Wow.
He's a big compound guy.
Yes.
Oh, you're a Compound guy?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of doings over at Compound, huh?
It seems
Gino getting punched out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
People
Pat
fighting.
Dixon, Kevin Brennan.
And Kevin fighting with Zumock, and Zumock fighting with everyone, and everyone hating Stuttering John. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's like
the drama.
It is the most dramatic company I think that's out there
Why
right
does
now.
it sound like there's so much violence?
There is.
Because there is, yes.
There is.
Violence.
Yeah.
They don't,
Fucking fact.
they don't have the restrictions of Sirius Radio anymore, so now it's all
Right.
hell breaks loose.
We're all recording
Or
each other.
And it's
XM,
not
right?
Anthony.
XM.
Like he's the guy who's kind of above it all,
Yeah,
and all
he's
the
like-
underlings just kind of bicker.
Yeah, Anthony's like the one pacifist that just like hangs back,
Right.
and just watches it go on. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna check you guys out, and so this is on YouTube now as well.
Yeah, YouTube, anywhere you get podcasts, that's where we are.
Wow.
Assuming we're not banned like instantly. We'll see how that happens.
Yeah, we'll see how quick.
Oh, I don't know. We're pretty
We've been good so
on
far.
the up and up.
Yeah, so I should keep my language to a minimum.
You could
then.
curse.
No, curse all you want.
Just,
I've
Can you curse
I've
on
been
YouTube?
told I'm not involved in the editing process, but I've been told I get cut very often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like I said, he's a Compound Media fan.
So it's not necessarily the language.
Yeah.
the content.
As I want to make sure everyone here keeps their jobs.
There you go.
So here we are.
So I
Midnight
asked,
Express.
I asked Bri what movie he would want to do for the show, or if he would want to do like a random history episode, and he picked a movie, and he picked Midnight Express.
What was your thought process there?
I was sitting here with Walt, and I was like, I got to pick a movie based on history for these guys. What should we do? And then we named up a whole bunch, and then Walt was like, what about Midnight Express? And I said, yeah, that's the story behind it.
Are you familiar with the movie?
Very. I had been very familiar with it up to that point, yeah.
This is my first time seeing it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was new for me.
Yeah, same.
What about you, Brian?
I knew almost nothing about it other than at one point. So my father had used this movie as like a lesson to me. My father was big into like giving me lessons based on movies where it was like,
Whoop your ass Turkish style, boy.
Was it about
you're not far off.
how men should bathe each other? Where we're going?
My father.
It's
did
funny
that.
because Brian's life was very similar to Schindler's List, right?
like Brian Scissorhands over there, huh? Like in the editing room, I bet.
Brian is essential to devout effort.
I'm glad. I am glad. Like I didn't write notes. I felt I knew it well enough. I didn't write notes, and then when I come in and I see Steve has a notebook, and fucking Rupert looks like John Doe over here. that is a fucking John Doe notebook.
Oh,
right there.
my handwriting is horrendous, which is what I want to say about the movie before we dive in. I always do a sketch of the movie before I watch it, and I want them to look at my sketch. Or you could look too and tell me what you think
Have
that
him do
is.
it first, yeah, because he's never seen any of
Yeah,
your
he doesn't know
artwork.
my beautiful
Or
art.
his horrendous handwriting.
I literally can't even read the first word. I'm not sure if it says gunshot.
It says Midnight Express.
Well, now that I can read, and then there's
Okay.
a picture of a train.
Yeah, it's a train. That is correct. Brian was able to make out the train. I thought the movie involved a train.
Really?
Because I knew nothing about it. I was like, they must get arrested on a train at one point. And like my father told me like that like don't like smuggle drugs, or if anyone ever leaves like a bag near you or something, don't like take it or you'll go to prison. So
in my house, like not smuggling drugs was just understood. Like nobody was like, hey.
Right.
They didn't need to be a cautionary tale.
No.
I gotta give him credit. Yeah, this is probably the best you've done, but like it could be confused to be like a long hotel. But it has nothing to do with the train. You didn't at least
I was
wait.
wrong. I didn't know because I do it like before I start the movie. You know, as like I'm loading it up.
Can the camera see this?
We're gonna cut to it.
So, Brian's train, the windows are like house windows.
Yeah.
Are train windows different? I imagine.
Yes. Have you ever been on a train?
Well, are you thinking of like an old school classy train, like one would take in the 20s or something? Like a nice like.
It's the Orient Express.
Exactly.
Or in
First class car?
Istanbul.
Yes, exactly.
I had the Orient Express in my head when I did this.
It's a perfect likeness.
So, other than Bryan, none of us had seen it before.
No, this was new to me.
No.
This was new. I knew what it was about. I just never got around to watching this particular one. It was quite the film. I
grim.
enjoyed it.
It's pretty grim.
Yeah, it's dark, but after researching the real story, it turns out a lot of this is a big fat lie.
Isn't it weird? Because I
Yeah.
had absolutely no idea until we did this how much the reality differed from
Really?
the movie. Yeah, like I told Rupp, I bought the book, I read the book, and then
In preparation for this, you read a book?
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He's done more research than any of us have ever
he
done.
makes us look like assholes.
Don't worry, I don't do shit on my own show. So I like to be prepared for other people though.
Oh, wow. All right. So you're in charge today.
I also listen. There's a podcast that some guy did that you should just watch after this with him. Who I guess it was a guy who had also been in jail. So I guess he had a little more cred with.
I think I watched
Hayes.
the same interview.
Yeah, it's about like 2 hours long.
Yeah,
or so.
I watched about 40 minutes of it.
Doesn't he come off like kind of a dickhead?
Okay, so
Brian texted me this afternoon.
So I'll tell you this. So someone that's a listener of TESD that like I think they casually listen to my show, they texted me and they were like, before like you picked Midnight Express, they're like, I know the guy from Midnight Express. He wrote a new book. He'll do your show. I spoke to him about it. Would you want
Billy Hayes.
Billy
is the
Hayes,
guy
yeah. Would you want to do it? And I was like, I think that'd be cool. And like even after we did your episode, I was gonna reach out and see if we could get like an interview with him for like even 30 minutes just to kind of tag on.
Until we have a hearty laugh at his expense.
And Anthony goes, I hate him. I don't want to talk to him.
That's why we don't have him.
Well, Brian texted me this afternoon telling me about someone he hates, and I can't remember who it was.
James Cameron.
James Cameron. Brian hates James Cameron. And
Real quick, he's such a pompous dickhead. Have you seen like all the shit he's saying now?
I thought he was pompous prior to this, but what's
Yeah.
the,
It's
what's the
just
news?
new stuff. He's like, I made all my writers on Avatar. They had to read an 800-page Bible
Of
I
lore.
read of lore
for Avatar.
for Avatar.
for Avatar.
Yeah.
Which is like the shallowest fucking movie.
I've never seen it because I can't watch shit like that. Like I'll throw up right on the person in front of me. So like I have a reason for never seeing like one of the most popular movies in history.
That you say that, but it has no like cultural impact. Nobody talks
sucks,
about it.
yeah.
Nobody cares about it.
No, like it's
It just
sort of-
made money, 10 years ago. 12
yeah, and
years
is
ago.
now parodied,
Yeah.
and that's about
Right.
its usefulness.
The big sequel's coming out.
Yeah.
And there's 800 pages of lore that had to be read by the
800
writers.
pages of lore. Wow,
Could you imagine?
Now
you
you've
have to
written for
work-
films before, right?
I have. as a matter of fact.
Imagine you were taking a gig and they go, here, read this 800-pound Bible of notes.
Well, he read a book for this stupid show, so he probably did.
Yeah.
No, I don't know the shit that I was writing, the garbage that I was writing for Dimension at the time. Yeah, I don't think I would have read 800 pages. I'd have been like, that's okay.
Did you do Date Movie? Like you did a rewrite on that?
No, I did a different. I can't even remember what they called it, but they never used any of our sketches. It had Michael Cera in it. I remember that was the
Movie
reason.
43?
No. It was like I thought it should have been called Offensive Movie, and then we just like wrote a whole bunch of offensive sketches, which would I mean, if it was offensive back then, which was like 2008 or something around there, and basically it was like Date Movie. It was a different movie. It was like a regular movie, but then they wanted to turn it into Date Movie since all those pieces of shit were doing so well. So I actually went to see Date Movie because I'm like, I've never, aside from Airplane, I'd never seen a movie
One of those
like
spoof
that.
movies.
And I went and I saw it, and then once I watched Date Movie, I went back to the guy who's in charge, and I said, if they change it to this, I was like, I have to quit. Because my mind doesn't work that way. I wouldn't. The jokes that these guys love so much in these shitty movies, I'm like, I'm not capable of coming up with them.
It's just like a modern reference. It's like, what if we reference Snooki here?
Yeah, is that one of the Wayans brothers movies?
No, they weren't doing it. It was
they-
Seltzer and Friedberg, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. It's just there's just like a guy who looks like Napoleon Dynamite wearing a shirt that says "Don't vote for Pedro," going gosh, over and over again. Like that wouldn't occur to me. Like I'd be like, they're going to fire me if I hand this in. Like, there's no way anybody's going to think this is funny.
One of the worst things that you can do if you're going to parody something is parody comedy. Like, why would you parody Napoleon Dynamite? It's already a joke.
It's already a joke about a person.
Right.
That would be like that. Yes. Yeah.
Him just saying that hurt.
We're supposed to be laughing at him going gosh to begin with. You saying it again doesn't make it funnier. That's stupid.
And it's just like, remember in the movie when he wanted people to vote for Pedro? Well, in this movie, he's telling them not to. It's like, holy
Mind
shit.
blown.
Holy shit, man. Tell me there's a sequel. Tell me there's going to be a sequel.
Just put a fat stack of cash in front of that joke. Put it out there.
Yeah, like people made a ton of money off that garbage.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You look at entertainment and you're just like, I can't believe the shit
That people
that makes
eat
money.
up.
In my opinion, anyway. I mean,
I think we're all in
I
agreement.
think we're all with you on this one.
they can't make enough like housewives shows. They can't make enough like cooking competition.
Does your
shows.
wife watch any of that shit?
all women.
She's a fan of certain.
Married at First Sight?
Oh, they
What's
all
that?
love that.
It's basically two people get married without seeing each other, and then like they chronicle their relationship for like 12 weeks.
Oh, really?
And then at the end, are
so
they
it's
going to
kind
stay
of like
together or
30
not?
Day Fiance, like,
Yeah,
like
same
along those
shit
same
like
lines.
that. But there's no foreigners. It's like, regular
good.
people.
How
Wouldn't want
debauched. How debauched. Marriage is supposed to be meaningful and like important. And it's just like, fuck it. Let's make a reality show out of it.
There was like, if I hadn't met my wife, there was a moment where I was like, Tell 'em Steve Dave, there's a girl I know in the audience who lives in another country and was willing to get married to come to this country. Like she actually tried out for the 30 Day Fiance thing. I don't know why it didn't work out. And I was like, maybe I would have done that. And it would have gone in a totally different direction than my current marriage. Or it would have been in a totally different direction than my current marriage, but I don't know, it might have worked.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think they have
Take a
like a
shot.
90% fail rate or something.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's
I
like they
believe
all
it,
get
yeah.
divorced.
Anyway, Midnight Express. So I
Turkish
texted you that
Something
I hate
happened,
Cameron.
right?
Yeah. And I thought, just because I was neck deep in doing research for the movie at the time, like I thought you were talking about Billy Hayes, and I was like, yeah, man, I hate him too. He's such a prick. He comes off as what he is, he's like a hippie boomer guy with like stupid views on the world, and
And it makes you,
he's a bit arrogant.
it makes you not feel sorry for him. Like in like his real personality, I'm just like, I don't really feel that bad.
I'd beat his
anymore.
feet too.
And
Yeah,
when you listen to his story, like his real experience appears to be much milder than the movie would have you believe.
I assumed that without even like knowing it.
That his what? I'm sorry.
That his whole time in prison wasn't as extreme as
Right, yeah.
that. There's not the constant beatings and rapings and everything. It's
Aw.
almost
Yeah.
more of a regular prison.
Yeah, it was a
sentence.
bummer. He said like there was no sexual violations going on.
Yeah.
There was-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's just,
Well, that's disappointing.
yeah, it takes away from all the fun.
But I guess we should get into the
Dive
movie.
in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the movie opens. There's like gunshots, and it sounds like foreign tongues.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
don't really know what's
Strange.
going on. And that says October 6, 1970, it begins.
In Constantinople.
Constantinople.
Yeah.
Istanbul. It
Fuck
was
you. Fuck you.
Constantinople.
It'll always be that in my heart.
Oh, because you're a Christian nationalist. You refuse to recognize the Islamo Turks,
Yeah.
Dominion. You bring back Byzantium. That's Steve's rallying cry.
I was gonna say this is like educated shit. I'm like, when I was watching the movie, I looked up naked Turkish girls. I'm like, I wonder what they look like because they all look so gross in the movie. I'm like, there's got to be hot ones. You know? That's all I have to add to that.
It'll always be Constantinople to Steve.
So Anthony is like a walking encyclopedia about like history
Thank
shit.
you. I'll take that as a
Like,
compliment.
Like whenever we're talking about this shit, he'll be like, "So this happened and this happened, and then in the 6th century, this guy crossed a lake, and now it's this." Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all.
It's a good thing.
Thank you.
I'll
just say thanks.
Is he good him with better hair?
No, people like him.
Yeah.
I have teeth.
No. You'll see, because we do have to bring up some politics that are in the time frame, and you'll see him rant off a lot of facts. Yeah.
All right.
He says he doesn't.
I'm being held to a
It's natural.
standard now.
It's natural to you. That's what I realize.
So we see him in the in a bathroom, and he's taping. What I couldn't make out what it was.
It's hashish.
Chocolate. Swiss chocolate.
Yeah, it's chocolate.
And I wouldn't have known that either, but Steve apparently is an expert on all things hashish. We watched the movie together, and he explained it to me.
What is hashish? Just weed?
Compounded cannabis plant.
It's like oil, right, or something.
There is oil in it to make it more compact, but it's just ground. It's basically just concentrated pot.
It's
Right.
more
It's like
potent.
mushy. Like, is it like look like?
Kind of, yeah. It's like it looks almost like a crackling powder sometimes. Sometimes it's mushy. It really depends how it's made, how old it is, but it's just think of it as like concentrated THC,
Concentrates.
basically. Yeah.
So
It
it's
definitely
like
looks like chocolate bars.
yeah, definitely.
I thought it
And
was
he's
like
wrapping
some
it up
like
like
black
chocolate.
tar heroin or something. I really didn't know what
That's
it
what
was.
I thought at first, but I remembered like doing a little bit of background check on this, and I was like, he didn't get arrested for heroin.
No.
Like, yeah, that wasn't really a big thing at the time. I don't think of that era.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it was. It always was. Like the Turks were known for the opium trade. In fact,
That's why my mind went there.
play into what eventually happens. The Nixon administration was big on the war on drugs before the war on drugs.
Well, they launched it.
Yeah. And they pressured the Turk government often about like American drug traffickers that were getting arrested in Turkey. And it just so happens that Billy Hayes is the one who escaped. You know, there were a bunch of these guys that were doing this type of stuff.
Oh, he's not alone.
You're right.
And in the movie, they'll have you believe this is the first time, but apparently he had done this like 4 or 5 times.
This would have
This
been
was
his
his fourth
fourth
trip.
time. Yeah.
Now, it was his 4th time coming back.
He had made the trip 3 times already. This is
Okay.
the 4th one. And he was only making, like I saw in the interview, he was saying, I'm sure you saw it too, $5,000 per trip. Like it's nothing. It's not like he's an international drug trafficker. Well,
But 1970.
I guess he is an international drug trafficker, but it's not like he's a kingpin.
He's not Pablo
He's making
Escobar.
pocket change essentially for the amount of risk he's taking.
1970 though. That's
I
still
love looking
a
up
decent
inflationary.
amount. Yeah. It's still a
Yeah,
decent
let's find out
amount.
what
Yeah,
$5,000
we'll
was.
find it out.
I'm gonna
He
say
said-
it's close to 10 at that point, right?
Probably.
Which
I
is
don't
still
know.
like
We're talking
still not big.
1970.
Not a
America's
huge
still
amount.
kind of not shitty.
Yeah.
I see it.
But
coming
he
out.
had 2 kilos on him, which is about 4.5 pounds of hashish. And he said in this interview that he got the idea because he was working in a hospital and he had seen a doctor tape up a guy's leg. And he's like, oh, that's how you can do it. Because someone that he knew had already done this, but like a small amount. And he's like, oh, if you put 2 and 2 together, this is how you do it. You tape yourself up and you'll get through it. And he pulled it off 3 times, and then the 4th time was the charm, I guess.
Was he sweaty every time?
In the movie, he's
Dripping
definitely like,
He's, like,
holy
terrified.
shit. But I guess if you do it a few times, you probably think you're Joe Cool, right?
Well, he thought he was Joe Cool for sure. Like you said earlier, he was very arrogant, and I guess for the tension of the movie, which they did a great job with.
Oh, I love that with the heartbeat and shit.
Yeah, they wanted to make it seem like it was his first time, and like his eyes darting around and everything, and his eyes are all glassy. Like he looked like a nervous motherfucker. How that first guy didn't stop him, like the one with the frisbee and shit.
Frisbee
And,
game.
like you're bad at your job, man. If you don't see that.
That's someone who's like, I don't want to bust this guy. I don't want to have to
Yeah.
deal with this shit.
Great decision by Oliver Stone, who this is an Oliver Stone movie.
Yeah, he wrote it.
Not having the Turks have subtitles.
Yeah.
Yes, I
You
love
know?
that.
the fact that they are just as foreign to the audience as they would be to him is just a great move. You know, we don't know what exactly is happening, but you have to infer.
Well, every scene is so tense because they could be saying anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can see him. He's like smiling, and then he's not smiling, and he's just like, he's very. It's confusing, and they're so chaotic. They're slapping each other like the fucking Three Stooges. And shit, you know?
Yeah, they take a picture. He smiles, and they hit it like, "What are you doing? Why are you smiling? Like, where you're caught."
And all of the Turks in this movie, like from now till he's in the prison and everything, like they're not really characters. They're almost just like an entity to themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're just
except for the one guy who beats him, who looks like Tony Soprano. I'm stealing Beaver's joke. That
Stole my joke. The Turkish soprano, the rapist. To find out he didn't even get raped.
Right.
That's disappointing.
Imagine we did the interview with him. It's a shame you didn't get raped, Billy.
That's why we can't do it.
But so he's with his girl, who I think she's really cute, that actress.
Oh, Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was not a real person.
There was no
The
girlfriend.
girlfriend was not with him.
That's another thing I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until I read the book, I had no idea that he was alone the whole time.
So there's a lot of art.
Okay, so that's already bullshit.
Yeah.
He
Which
tells
means she probably never pressed her tits against the window
Exactly.
later on. God damn it.
It's the most iconic moment.
Yeah.
It's Jim Carrey's joke.
Really?
All for nothing.
Yeah,
All for nothing.
I never knew that Cable Guy was referencing this.
He says it in Cable Guy.
Does he?
Yes.
I just never picked up on it. I guess I'm stupid.
Need human contact.
I mean, while we're talking about that scene, I always heard that was improv by Jim Carrey. That whole
really?
thing. Yeah. And if it is, he's a genius because it's hysterical.
If not, he sucks.
So he's like, go on the plane, and he's all sweating. And how does she not know he's up to something? Right? Like,
He's like, just go.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right. Like, you know, I can see my wife behaving like that. My wife would be submissive enough if I'm like, just go get on the goddamn plane.
but she would know.
Like
you're,
she would think something was up.
yeah.
She would know something's up.
Yeah,
Have you
my
ever
wife would
smuggled
know
anything
too.
onto a plane?
Nothing illegal.
Nothing illegal?
Maybe some
Well, then you
souvenirs from
didn't smuggle
Disney.
it.
Yeah. I've put some batteries I'm not supposed to have, like in my like backpack.
Oh, yeah?
Foreign fruits
Yeah.
and vegetables.
You know, but nothing where I'm gonna end up in a prison.
No?
No, I'm a straight and narrow.
I
I'm a good
accidentally
boy.
smuggled weed back from Vegas the last time I was there. Like, I forgot I had a couple joints in the front pocket of my backpack, and it nothing.
Brian,
I literally,
that too,
I was
yeah.
like Brittany Griner, man. I literally just forgot. You
I was
know?
thinking about that this whole time.
If only the Nixon administration had a massive war criminal they could have traded for this asshole.
well, he wasn't. This guy's not a celebrity. He didn't have a shot.
Right.
He needed
Celebrity.
a better, He needed a jump shot.
Yeah, nice
Yeah.
I feel
You
like
and I have had border trouble before.
Yes, we've been detained at the border several times in
Yes, we
Canada.
So that's the lamest border to
I
get
know.
stopped.
yeah, notice they're still here. So how really bad
So
could
we
it
were
be?
going to a concert that was like a 3-day concert in Montreal, and I was in such a rush. I left my backpack and like all my clothes behind,
Right.
so I looked like I was on a one-way trip. And we get to the border, and they're like, "Where's your bags?" I was like, "I don't have any bags." Like, why not? I was like, I left them at home. Like, get out of the car, please. We were detained at the border for like 4 hours.
Brian's car had mud all over it that looked like blood. In fact, a cop had pulled us over earlier and was like, "What did you hit, a deer?"
Yeah, it was like red clay.
And at the time, I had long hair and like a giant beard, and I looked like an Islamic extremist.
But your ID
Yeah.
didn't have that.
no, my ID did have that.
have it?
Yeah.
It looked like we were on a one-way trip. Yeah, we weren't coming back from Canada.
So
we
ever
were
since
detained.
then, whenever we go to the border, it's the same deal. They rip our car apart. It's like we have
They're
problems
marked.
every time.
Because your names are now in the
we're on a
system.
list. We have to be on a
list.
Put on the
Yeah.
list, huh? I got stopped twice going from Canada into America just because of the name Bryan Johnson. They're like,
This is a fake name.
There was a guy in Minnesota who was like a diamond thief or something, and I'm like, look, I look like a lot of things, but diamond thief, no, like I just no.
Do they pull the beard?
Yeah,
It's fake.
I'm like Joe Pesci's wife, yeah, in the casino, like some shit. Come on, there's another one in there. You know.
But yeah, so he gets caught, right?
Yeah, he gets busted, and they're strip searching him.
They think it's C4 at first.
Yeah. because what was happening at the time is the PLO, which is the Palestinian
Liberation
Organization.
Yeah.
They were big into bombing airplanes at the time.
They mentioned that too.
Yeah.
That's why they're searching everyone.
Right. So the Turks were on high alert. And really the entire Middle East was kind of a mess. Not like today.
No, it's great today, obviously.
My mother's calling me. Not today, Ma.
Now,
You should answer. Put it
Talking about Turkish men raping each other.
I'm busy. Now, how he got caught, is that true to real life? Like they were just searching for bombs and they found him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way
true.
it seemed. Yeah, that part's true. Where he just like he went on. He's like, oh shit.
How
Because
unlucky.
you see his face again, very smug. Like when he gets past that first guy, he's like looking out the window of the bus or whatever that he just makes.
Grabs
And
his
he's just
wife's
like,
tit.
Yeah, he's grabbing her tit. He's like,
Old
"Ooh."
guys like,
Really? Yeah.
liking it.
Yeah, he's like, this is it, man.
I'm
this
the
is
man.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
An
the
exact
fucking man.
quote from him was, "I'm too handsome and too young and good looking to go to jail." He said that
In real life?
in the interview I saw.
Okay.
He said
But he
that.
did. To his defense, he was like, I actually thought that. Like,
Yeah.
I think
yeah, he's
in
grown up
retrospect,
since
he's like,
then.
I was a fucking total idiot.
Yeah.
He was how old is he as he's doing this?
I think he was probably about 20, right?
Seems that
yeah,
way.
It seemed like he was about 20 years
You're
old.
dumb
In
enough when you're 20 to
1970.
think that. Like I think you still think you're invincible.
Invincible, yes, but too good looking. I've never had that
Well,
issue.
no, I've never had that
I'll
problem.
never go to jail. This mug.
I'll just smile and get out of it.
What's the actor's name that played him, Brian?
Oh, Brad Davis. He
Brad
died of
The
AIDS.
Walmart Brad Pitt.
Oh,
He looks
died
so
of
much like
AIDS.
Brad Pitt in the beginning, doesn't he?
Yes.
Insane.
Yes.
I thought it was him, and I'm like, whoa.
What did you say? He died of AIDS?
He died of AIDS, yeah.
Oh,
Gross.
geez. So we actually did get raped.
So he was a method actor for the
Yes,
movie.
he did years in a Turkish prison to prepare. But I love the scene when they're posing with him for the photos and he's smiling.
Yeah.
He's like so happy. You know, like he doesn't understand
He
what's
doesn't
coming.
understand the gravity of the
He
situation.
does not get it.
They
Nope.
strip him naked to just stare at him, which is what we do with our guests before each show. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I mean, I can put my pants back on, right? I mean, nobody said anything.
No. So then I love the American guy who shows up.
Yeah, what's his deal?
I think you're supposed to think he's like a CIA guy.
Because he goes something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, what, he's CIA or something? He goes, yeah, something
Was he
like
in the
that.
book?
He is in the book, yeah.
Okay.
And I think he was also in the interview. And like, it seemed like those were his exact words. Like, you seem like a good enough kid, but if you
I'm
try
gonna
to run away, I'm
fucking
going to
blow
blow
your
your
brains
brains
out.
out. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, like, this is why I would be a bad agent or cop, because I would be like, I'm just going to let him go. I'm like, this is like, these Turks are going to fucking, I know what they're going to do to him.
Right.
It's really not that much. Like, he got busted with 4 pounds of hash. He's obviously not a trafficker. He's just using it as personal use type shit. I feel like I would just look the other way.
And then he kills your uncle. And next thing you know, you have to friggin'
I missed the part where
Yeah.
that's my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, he kind of is caught up in a weird political situation because the Turks and the United States are having a bit of a pissing match about this exact issue.
Right.
The American government is trying to say that the Turks are supplying all this opium and heroin and pushing drugs, and then the Turks will turn around and say, well, you guys are hypocrites because all of your people keep coming over here and we keep catching them smuggling heroin
Hashish.
Yeah.
and
Oh, and
hashish.
heroin.
Yeah, all that stuff. So the Turks are very interested in making an example of him, which is what happens.
Right.
But he ran away.
Is this when he goes to jail finally?
So no,
Will he have a
there's that
trial?
scene where they make him snitch in the cafe.
Well, he runs
Oh
away.
yeah.
And he's like, I'm from Long Island, and you get a little backstory. And then he like runs, and you kind of think he may get away. And eventually he's caught, and they put the gun to his head, and they shave him.
Let me ask you a question.
Just stay next to the chickens. Why do you keep
Yeah.
peeking out, bro? Stay next to the chickens.
They walked
and just-
past you.
And just, like, stop poking your fucking head out.
Do you think it was the right move to run?
No.
Oh, absolutely. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah?
If I was like, they're caught up with some other guy, and I think I might be able to get away and just disappear into the crowd.
the
Like, I
shot.
know I'm American. I'm immediately shaving. I'm immediately trying to change my appearance. But yeah, I think I would give it a shot. I would try to run.
I don't know, because at that particular moment,
You might have made it worse.
still seemed like he
There was
may
a
get out of
chance.
this.
He might get out. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were talking bail.
Right.
He was never getting out of it.
Yeah, well, we know that in hindsight. But I remember when you and I were watching, I was thinking, why are you running?
Me too.
Just go through the process and it'll be over. You can only make this worse for yourself by running.
This is a guy who trusts the system.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that was a stupid
Idea, yeah.
What do you think, Brian? Would you run?
Oh, I've ran.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You run from the cops before?
Yeah.
Maybe
so
not say that on mic.
Well, I'll tell you a story. So,
And you got caught.
no, I didn't
you
get
did.
caught by the cops.
You didn't get caught.
I fled. I got away.
Oh, I forgot which time we're talking about.
Yeah. There's a couple. In my youth, I wasn't always squeaky clean. No, but one time it was at wrestling camp, and there was a coach who was kind of a dick from another school there, and we left a bag of shit.
Human or otherwise?
Human shit.
Okay.
Like a bunch of wrestlers, we shit in a bag and we
Gotta keep
dumped
it
it in
classy.
front of his door. So the next morning, it was the last day of camp. Friggin' the place went ape shit. Like they were looking for the people who did it. And my wrestling team, we all knew that I was kind of the ringleader of this thing.
Right.
So I was like, okay, fuck. And I had stayed in another kid's room, and they got like the police involved looking for like who did this, and the guy was flipping shit. So what I did was I went into a wrestler's cupboard that was like hiding in like this fucking overhang like above his bunk, and I was hiding in there like friggin' like Anne Frank or something. You know. And eventually I was there for a while, and the cops came and they ended up sweeping and they found me and
In the cupboard?
yeah, and they
Wow.
put me down. And this is
Put
this
him
is
down.
so I was in there for like an hour or two. So do you know what I did for that hour?
What?
I jerked off.
What the fuck?
I was like, this is what I got to
What's
do.
a young, healthy all-American boy to do
Red
while he's
blood.
hiding in a cupboard?
Any situation, this
Yeah.
is the go-to.
It's like, all right, I guess this is what I got to do.
So
for-
wait, so when they pulled the door open, were you doing it and they saw you?
No, I had finished.
How'd you clean yourself?
My boxers and hands, you know,
Brian
like a
as a
gentleman.
criminal.
So you were covered in your own jizz.
Yeah, or like they drag him out of a cupboard drenched in his own fucking semen. And
He regrets nothing.
You filthy little monk.
Yet I see a wedding ring on his
Yeah.
finger. I don't know how this happened.
Still happens. So then when we get busted, the cops like pull us there, and they're like, it was you guys, like we've went through everybody by process of elimination. It's you, and they're talking to like they're like
They got nothing.
they know, but they are like
He's covered in jizz.
they're hell bent it's me, and
They got something.
Brown fingers.
yeah, they're like, wait here, when we come back, you're like coming with us, and they like walk around a corner, and
They
I'm
wanted you.
looking. And I just fucking buck. And I run. And I get like outside of the wrestling camp and I get picked up.
I stopped to jerk off.
I had to.
There was a getaway car?
So the
Any level of excitement, he's going.
it was
This is so hard.
yeah, me and my wife now what we do is we leave shit everywhere because that's the only way we could feel anything. It's like Crash.
Cop car passes by, you just immediately.
But we so the plan was that we were gonna stay in Virginia Beach, me and like another wrestler. I was gonna be with his family, and then we were gonna drive back up to Staten Island. And I was staying with him, and then my coach called my family and was like, I have to tell you what Brian did. And my mother lost her shit. My father went ape shit. He's like, you have to go get him from Virginia Beach right now. And my mother drove down to Virginia Beach with my sister to pick me up. They weren't going to let me stay. And she got T-boned and had a really bad car accident.
God.
Wow.
And they were in the hospital, and like,
Oh, no.
I was public enemy in my family for like years. Like my mother had to go to
Holy
physical
shit.
therapy. I hear about it to this day. She'll be like, my neck from the car accident when I had to go pick you up after you left the bag of shit.
Masturbating in a cupboard.
Oh, it's the line from Seinfeld. He's treating his body like it's an amusement park.
So
Well, that's
yeah,
a
I
pretty
have run
decent
from the
story.
cops.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's not even like the real like getting away from the cops one. Like if you get caught with that, it's just like a slap on the wrist.
Which time?
Yeah, you didn't really. What crime did you commit?
I don't think you could just leave shit in front of people's doors on purpose for them to step in.
What is it, littering?
I bet you it would be like some kind of like biological hazard.
Yeah.
They would get
Chemical warfare.
like that,
Look, it wasn't New York in 2020 where they're like, shit wherever you want.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell about when you did the hit and run.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, the hit and run. That's a good one.
You
too.
did a real crime.
That one, I wasn't running from the cops, though. I was running from the scene of an accident, and I got busted.
Oh, they caught you?
So, all right, I'll
You're
tell
the lowest kind of scumbag. You hit somebody's car and take off.
I'll tell you the story. So I'm 18 or 19, and no, I have to be 18. And I'm in a car. It's me, this girl that I like, a bunch of other people, and we're driving past where there used to be a comic shop. And I'm like, I wonder if that comic shop is still here. And I'm looking, and the guy stops short at a red light, and I smash him. And my whole car is all T-boned and fucked up. And the light turns green. And the guy goes forward, and he starts driving. And my friend goes, make a right, make a right.
So
and
he fled.
the guy fled too, and I whip a right.
Who did you hit? What body did this guy have in his trunk?
So the cops, I make a right. That guy went
Lack of
straight.
insurance.
Yeah. That guy went straight, and then fucking I got pulled over by the cops. They happened to, I didn't see them. They happened to be there. And they tailed me, and they suspended me, and they took my license away for a while.
But why? If the other guy didn't care,
That's
then
what I've wondered too.
How is it your fault? Yeah.
Honestly, I needed it though, because I was such a little dickhead at 18 or 19.
Yeah.
I used to hit 90 on the highway all the time on Staten Island, and then I'd be like, it's okay, I have a PBA card. Like it was like a get out of jail free card.
So you think this straightened you out?
I needed
some discipline?
Yeah, I needed to be suspended.
Yeah.
I needed time in a Turkish prison or something to really
Make you a better
straighten me
person.
out. Yeah.
Some foot torture.
So he goes to jail.
Yeah.
Do we see the trial first? I don't remember.
There's no trial. He just goes straight to jail at first.
He goes straight to jail, and they try
right,
for
right.
bail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The guy puts him in that little cell, and he wants a blanket.
And this is they set him up, right? Do you think that?
I didn't think this was a setup. No.
Because the door's open. They're like, the door's open. Go get a blanket.
Oh, like knowing what would happen and
Yeah.
knowing that he would take a beating.
Mm-hmm.
That appears to be the nature of that prison, though. Like they're free to just walk around and do shit. It's not like they're in a cell all day.
Well, in the book and I think in the interview too, they said that the guy actually gave him a stick with a hook on it. And then he hooked the blankets and stuff from the room. And obviously it's easier in the movie for him to just go and grab them.
Right.
But it seemed like they were working together more in the book and the interview.
Okay.
That it wouldn't have been a setup.
That makes sense.
Was it? I couldn't tell, but the guy who beats him there, the guy who comes back and beats shit out of
He
him.
beats him throughout the whole movie.
But wasn't that the asshole guy? Rafiki?
Rifki.
Wasn't that Rifki?
Rifki was the one who brought him to the cell.
Right.
And he looks like a member of the IRA at the time.
How the fuck does Rifki have this level of autonomy in the prison? Why is he like a preferred guy?
I don't know. I think that happens though. I believe. I mean, based on no experience in any prison whatsoever, I think that there are kind of like in the Holocaust, how they had the prisoners who were the guardian,
The capos.
Yeah, the capos, and
the collaborators.
Yes, they weren't really quite on your side, but they weren't really quite on their side.
Yeah.
They were more on their side. And
They're on their own side.
I
They're
think that's
self-serving.
somebody's taking a kickback from Rifki.
Like Samuel
Oh,
L.
yeah.
and Django.
Yeah, kind of.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, he's getting. I assumed the rapist was getting money from Rifki. At least later on, I put the two together. It was like, oh, that makes sense now. Why he was the one who let him, and then he was the one who got him in trouble. So they beat him to show him what's up and stuff like that.
Yeah, Rifki's a real piece of work.
It's just really interesting. They like torturing
This
people
is
with sticks.
for public consumption.
What did he do to you?
He's a real son of a gun.
You don't like the cut of his jib at?
I don't work blue.
So then, after he's beaten, and we see the first time his the bottoms of his feet are hit, which is a thing they do throughout this. Had you heard of this before?
No, but I have heard of in the Middle East sometimes to torture people, they will put salt all over the soles of your feet and then let a goat lick lick them because like a goat's tongue
just
is
turned
super
him on.
rough.
I got half a rod right
And
now.
then it'll like until they bleed until they go down to the bone.
Does anybody have a
So-
cupboard around?
I assume the goat's tongue is rough then. or
Very
something?
rough, yeah, like a kind of like a cat's tongue.
It's
except
called falaka. That's what they call that, the beating of the feet.
Of the feet.
They said
Yeah.
that they did it because like if you fucked up an American prisoner too badly, then America would step in.
Right.
They would kind of like ease off. If
It
you,
leaves
like, you
no
didn't
broken
break
bones.
anything. Yeah,
Right,
it just hurts like hell.
Yeah.
It's
it
like when your
seemed,
parents would hit you with a phone book because it hurt a lot, but it didn't leave a bruise.
Did my parents
No.
do that?
Oh, just
My parents weren't concerned with bruises. It was the 70s.
They're like, you can take it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Like you look like everybody else in your class. Like who's complaining?
So they put him in a cell with 2 Americans, right?
No.
A Swede.
A Swede,
And he has the shit written down too.
a Swede, an American, and then eventually they meet the English guy.
Max.
Right. The American guy is cousin Eddie.
Randy Quaid.
Yeah. I was
Not crazy yet.
I was surprised to see him. You forget he's a great actor.
He is awesome in it.
Yeah.
He's great in it. Yeah.
He had a good run, and then
And then
he just
Independence Day.
lost his mind.
Yeah.
Well, when you're
It was
abducted by
after
aliens.
Independence Day. You're right. That he sort of lost it and
Yeah.
never recovered. Where is he right now? I remember like he was living in
He
Canada.
went to Canada with his wife and was making videos of him fucking her while she wore a mask of like the head of NBC.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up. That's
No, that's
That's amazing.
he like lives in the woods or something.
Yeah, he became like a mountain man.
yeah.
But I feel like Dennis Quaid's star really ascended
As Randy's fell?
Randy's fell.
There can only be one Quaid.
Damn it, Quaid.
Damn it, Cohagen. Give these people ear.
So there's dirt wrestling in the courtyard. Everyone's
Yeah.
kind of having leisure activities.
It's like a marketplace. It's not even a prison.
in the interview I saw, Billy Hayes said that from watching things about American prison, he feels like it's much better to be in Turkish prison. He prefers Turkish
Which you would
prison.
never dream because like all you ever hear about in foreign, like if you go to a foreign prison, you're fucked. Like Locked Up
Yeah.
Abroad
Right.
or like any of those types of shows. It's like it never seemed like Russian prison. Like there's a reason that everybody was so concerned about this Brittany Griner. You know, it's like
Yeah.
she's in a fucking when you're gulag.
Right.
That just seems worse than America.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
But
Boy, are we wrong.
He said
Yeah.
that what scares him about American prison is the regimentation of it. Like you got to be up at 7 a.m. to do A, B, C, and D, and like everything's on a schedule. And he said that hell is like being surrounded by people and having zero privacy whatsoever, which he said wasn't the case over there.
having a job.
Oh,
Like
really?
he said, like
Yeah.
the bunks and bunks of people on top of each other. Just that makes him afraid. You
He's
know,
not
compared
afraid
to
of like the
Turkish.
gangs. He's afraid of waking up. At
He
8
said there
a.m.
weren't really gangs in the Turkish.
No, I
prison.
meant in the American prisons. There's
Oh,
like
I'm
gangs
sure
and
that's
stuff.
an issue too, but that's not what he said and what I saw. So I'm not
Doesn't
going
want to
put
have a
words in his
job.
mouth.
The thing about the Turkish prison also, which I thought was weird, was that there were children in it.
Yeah.
Like little, they said pickpockets, thieves, rapists, you know,
Yeah.
like these young kids that are like 10, 11,
Terrible.
12 years old. Yeah.
Was that a thing? Like in real
It's
life?
like
Was that a
people
thing?
seem to come and go, almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is like how he escapes in real life. They take him to
Yeah.
an island and he just kind of wanders off.
Yeah,
Really?
it's not nearly the ending that the movie would have you believe.
Oh, it's a bullshit.
I heard he got on a boat. Like I know
Yeah,
he
he
didn't like, kill a guard.
rowboated in a storm.
Yeah, he didn't kill the guard. He never bit anybody's tongue off. And any of like all the good shit in the movie,
Right.
Actually, yeah, none of it ever happened.
Thank God, because the movie would not be
When he
as
went to
entertaining.
the crazy place, it was just like him faking it. And he wanted to go to the crazy place because he thought it would be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, he did say that the portrayal of the crazy place in the movie was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was that bizarre. But he was only there for like a week or two, and then they sent him back to regular prison.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're better now.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's not nearly, there's not as much despair.
God damn. Really taking away all the glamour of
I
this
know.
for me.
that makes sense too. That like if he says he's afraid of American prisons with like that kind of regimentation and everybody doing the same thing, and then when like in the crazy house when they're all walking around the one way and then he goes the other way and he's like, you can't do that. You can't go the other direction. It's like him, like he's a real like swimming upstream.
He's a hippie guy, you know?
Definitely
Well, they
is.
say
individual.
you have to go right. Left is communist.
He's literally counterculture.
I cringed at
you know?
that. I cringed at that line. That was a cringy line. I hated it.
Anyway, so he
We
gets
need
the
Max.
prison tour, which is like your standard in every prison movie. You know, they get you the tour
Yeah.
for the audience. This is this, and this is this.
Yeah.
Mud wrestling.
Randy Quaid he stole from a mosque, so he's there for like years.
Yeah.
He's like that very heavy crime.
Is he a character in the book?
Randy Quaid, yeah, he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
he is.
he is.
Okay.
Jimmy Booth, I think his name is.
And then they meet John Hurt, who is shooting heroin all the time. He's
Yeah.
playing Max.
Oh, that was John Hurt.
Yeah.
That would totally be me.
The elephant.
I would not want to be dealing with anybody. Oh, I would totally give up. I'd be like, "Where's the heroin?"
Was he doing heroin?
Maybe befriend this cat.
Yeah. Oh, this poor cat.
Yes. What was his name? The cat had a name. Somebody write it down.
I did not write it down.
Mr. Jangles. He's a circus mouse.
I don't know if they said it.
So now we get the scene where Billy's father shows up with the sleazy Turkish lawyer.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
big fat guy.
With the small tie. The little this little tie was great.
looks like a Monty Python character.
Yeah, we were saying he looks like a character from like The Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the judge coming in. And then they all wear those capes when they're in court.
Yeah.
Very crazy.
Yeah,
guy.
they look like Dracula.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, Transylvania and shit. And obviously it's a sham trial. He doesn't have a shot. And I do like the father's performance. I felt bad for the father.
Oh, yeah, that's a heartbreaking position to be in, right?
As a father, yeah.
You'd think. Supposedly he like mortgaged their house and went broke just trying everything in the world to get his son out of jail. Like even what we don't see from like him at home is like anybody who'd come to them and be like, if you give me this much money, I can get your son out. He'd go for it every time. He's just trying to make something.
How far would your father go?
My dad?
Yeah. What
say rot.
what is your dad's reaction?
Oh, my dad loves me.
Yeah,
He'd
but
go for it.
Right?
I could give you the exact line your dad would say finding out the news. Like, tell me the news. Break the news to me. Your son's in jail.
Mr. Galati,
Yes.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your son is in a Turkish prison.
For what? For what?
He was smuggling drugs.
He's a fucking idiot. Leave him there.
you really think that's what his dad
That's your
would do?
father. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you'd like to think not, right?
Yeah. But I hear it.
We
in
have
his
a good
I hear it in
relationship.
his voice. The uncertainty.
You never really know what your dad does when you go to prison.
I feel like there was a time in my life when my father would have been that way. He would have been like, "Fuck him, leave him there."
Yeah.
But like today, I feel like he's mellowed so much, and has taken a look back and been like, "Oh well, I wasn't really there that much." Like. For him as a kid, so as an adult, you know,
Least I could do.
Yeah, the least I can do is get him out of a fucking Turkish prison for really what amounts to not that much drugs. You know?
What about your dad, Brian?
My dad arrested me once.
Your dad's a cop?
He was a corrections officer.
Citizen's arrest.
Then he became a parole officer, and he would like go after like people with expired warrants and shit for New York State. We're estranged. I haven't spoken to my father in it's got to be since 2008, right? Around
Oh
then.
wow.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I haven't spoken to my father in a long time. But so one time I was 12 and I had like a sleepover with my friends. My mother really didn't want me to, and she was like, just make sure the house is clean. And my mother found crumbs. She went apeshit and started beating me with a fucking vacuum. And I was like, please stop.
Like a
please.
dustbuster?
Like the attachments.
Okay.
Like, you know, like
Yeah.
the
Plastic
long
ones.
one you put for like corners. And she's
Right.
whooping my ass with this thing. And I'm already, you know, I'm 12. I'm stronger than my mother.
Right.
And I'm like, please stop hitting me. Please stop hitting me. And I grab her, trying to like get her to stop. And like, I throw her onto like my bed. And she hits her head on the wall. And and she's laying there like she's knocked
Now
out.
she's the victim.
and my sister sees this, and it looks like I murdered my mother.
Right.
So my sister's running to the phone. She's gonna call the cops, and I run to the phone, and I'm hitting the receiver, and I'm fighting with my little sister. And my mother gets up, and she's like, "I'm calling your father. Wait in your room." So I'm waiting in my room. And my father was coming home from work. We were getting ready to go on a family vacation that day.
Oh my God.
My father busts open my door, kicks it full blast, gun drawn. Put your hands in the fucking air, scumbag! Put your hands in the fucking air!
It sounds like Tackleberry and shit, Police Academy.
He felt the need to have his gun drawn on the 12-year-old.
I think it was scare me straight.
Right.
I like to think his safety was on.
Maybe it wasn't loaded.
Yeah.
That is the behavior of someone who is not balanced.
My father is
Like,
psychotic.
yeah, that's crazy.
He's violently psychotic. So he grabs me and he throws me on the bed and he handcuffs me. And
He called you a scumbag?
yeah. And he handcuffs me and he's dragging me down the stairs and I have my cuffs on and he puts me in the cop car, you know, fucking ducking my head under and I'm sitting in the back seat.
Jerking off. That's where it all started.
And I'm like, fuck. And in my head, I'm going through every prison trope that I know. I'm like, okay, right when I get there, I got to punch the biggest guy I can. You know, I'm like going through everything that like movies have taught me. And I'm like, this is it. This is the rest of my life. I'm a felon now. And I'm trying not to cry because, you know,
You don't cry.
I don't want to be like the weak person in prison.
You can't let him win.
And I'm also 12. And we get outside the police precinct on Staten Island. And now I'm getting ready. And he like opens the door. He's getting ready to take me out. And then I emotionally broke down and I couldn't take it anymore. And I started bawling. And it was like, okay, you've learned your lesson enough.
What do you think his plan was? Like, was he going to really take you inside?
I think he was hoping
that you cried.
that I cried.
Right.
But like if I was
Tough guy.
if I didn't care and I was like, fuck it, I don't care.
He would
Yeah.
have beat your foot.
I don't know what would have happened.
But like, did he ever, in retrospect, did he ever look back and think, well, what my son did was like an accident. He accidentally bumped his mom's head into a wall because she was beating him, and he couldn't take a beating anymore. Like, I feel like as a dad, I would have to look at the mom and be like, well, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? You're beating him with fucking implements.
You're what we call
vacuum
a
cleaner.
reasonable person.
Yeah.
Brian's dad?
No, not reasonable. Huh? Unreasonable.
There's a lot of angry dad stories I have.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Now, I guess back to the movie.
So Billy has a good dad.
And they're setting him up to go to trial and figure out how they're going to get this done. And do they go straight to the trial or does he go back to prison first? I think they go directly to trial.
Well, he's actually in jail for like a year before there's the finished trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he gets 4 years and he can get off 3 years with an appeal and good behavior and
Yeah.
all that. That's his
The
sentence.
judges all talk like Watto.
I guess the right to a speedy trial isn't a thing over there. You know?
It's an
I
American
don't think
thing,
so.
Right.
you know? And I love the scene when his dad is like flipping out about like his son being locked up and he's devastated. You know, I think that's a really good scene.
You better take care of him.
You Turkish bastards. It's like, why would you insult them on your way out? Like,
Right. Who's he going to take it out on? Not you.
What are you gonna do, you pansies? He's pissing him off. So then we find out that ass stabbing is a thing in a Turkish
Utterly
prison,
hysterical.
which is different than American ass stabbings in prison.
I thought it was utterly hysterical seeing a guy run up and just stab someone in the ass and run away.
he's like, ow!
I cracked up. Like, never is that not funny. I don't care who it is.
So then there's a
Randy
chop.
Quaid really gets it in this
Oh,
movie.
he gets it bad,
He
yeah.
cannot win. Every time he turns around, there's something shitty coming his way.
So then there was a child raped, which is a weird thing because there's children in the prison.
Well, there were children that raped a child.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and they
get their feet
They get
hit.
punished. And the guy, speaking of dads and good parenting, the bad guy brings his fat little kids to
Yes.
watch him beat up these children's
They're both
feet.
dressed like Eddie Munster.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
yeah, it's a weird like Addams Family moment, and they beat him up.
The kids don't seem to be that like taken aback by it, like they've seen it before.
This is Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was bring
Those
your
kids-
child to work day, you know.
Those kids have to either be great, not the fat kids, the kids who are getting their feet hit, awesome actors, or they were really getting their feet hit because they looked like they were in pain, man. And it's like they're shooting it in they didn't shoot it in Turkey. Turkey wouldn't allow them to shoot there. It was like where was it shot?
Someplace that looks dry.
Malta.
Malta.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, shot entirely in Malta, except there were some scenes that some B-roll shit that they took from crowd scenes because they were pretending they were shooting a cigarette commercial. I guess they wanted to get some authentic Turkish stuff in there.
Okay. That's a good cheat.
That's funny.
So it's every man for himself in the prison, and that asshole Rifki kills the cat.
Yeah.
And not only does he kill the cat, he goes out of his way to like
Lynch
hang
it,
it and like
yeah.
put like a funny
Publicly
hat on
display it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rifki killed Higbert. That's the name.
Higbert.
Higbert.
Yes.
He's that's just sociopathic, right? Like he's just going out of his way to be a dick and kill the cat.
There's no reason for it. It's because they laughed at him when he shoved the cat.
There is a reason, though. There is.
Okay. You're in
Well, I
Rifki's
mean-
head? What do you got?
You got if you're in a prison and you're trying to be the top person and scam people and be a scumbag, you have to actually like punish those who would even laugh at you remotely. So that's it. Their
So
punishment.
he was sowing fear.
Yes.
I think though, like in today's prisons, like if you're a cat killer, like I think like people like because like they have those programs and shit, to like rehabilitate
Pit
cats
bulls and parolees.
yeah, like all that shit. Yeah, like prisoners a lot a lot of times get very attached to these animals, and then
It's what they have.
and by extension, so does everyone else. It's like that was the
prison cat.
Yeah.
It was Higbert for Christ's sake.
At the same point, this is kind of like, is this Islamic at the point, right? At this point?
Yeah.
Very heavily
Oh,
Islamic.
God, yeah.
Well, there's a difference between Islam and like a regular Muslim, I would assume.
No.
Like, no, it's just the same
That's-
thing.
It's the same thing.
They're literally synonyms.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know
Well,
how
it's
they.
Jew and Jewish, so yeah.
No, I don't know. Well, I think like there's different sects and like strictness, and I don't know which one they are.
Well, there's
That's what I
Sunni,
mean.
Shiites,
Yeah, that's
and all
what I
that,
mean.
but-
Yeah, like I
No,
don't know.
we're not in that world.
Right. Okay. So then I don't know how they see like a cat or like a
I mean,
dog. 'cause, like,
typically, like,
mostly they hate dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
That's what I mean,
typically
yeah.
don't like dogs in Muslim cultures. That's
So I
like
don't know about
something that
cats.
I've heard.
Really?
So they
Yeah.
might killing a cat to them might just be like killing a rat.
Like I think it's somewhere in the Quran, and I'm not sure, but I think it's something where dogs are viewed as like unclean animals. But I really I don't know.
It's haram.
Anyway, so
For you guys, it's pigs, right?
for Jews,
Yeah.
well, yeah, them too. They don't dig on the swine either.
Oh, they don't like. They
No,
don't know?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, they say it in the movie. It's kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, he
it
says
is.
that when
He
he's like
calls
going
them
for
pigs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
yeah.
In his big speech.
Right. His big racist speech.
Yeah, that did seem that like from what I was reading that the movie, while celebrated at the time, did like eventually take some hits for
It
its
had
portrayal.
real world ramifications between Turkish and U.S. relations.
Because even watching the movie again, I'm just like, damn, man, these Turks are scumbags.
Yeah.
like you start to feel that way,
Right.
But then you're like, wait, this is a movie, and I already know it's not true.
But you hear based on a true story, and you see this brutality, and you're like, "Fuck these people."
That must be the way it is.
Yeah.
Did you see this in theaters?
No.
How-
I would have been
Let's see.
free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's
Really?
just-
No, it came out 78.
yeah.
Oh, 78? I thought it came
Yeah.
at 70. Oh, so no, I could have seen it. No, I didn't, unfortunately.
How old would you have been in 78?
78, I would have been 11.
Do you have any memories of like your first time seeing this?
No, I'm pretty sure I watched it with Kev. First time I saw it, my buddy Kevin Smith.
Dropping names.
Because we used to always go over to Grand Union and get cookies and then go and watch movies at his house. And that was one of them like that I had never seen before.
That's a good buddy movie. You know, you guys give each other a bath afterward.
Yeah, wash each other's hair and shit.
Hold each
Now,
other's
I
hands.
think we're probably
They
getting
stabbed him in
close
the ass and
to
ran out of the house.
that part in the movie.
It's almost there. Hold on. So Randy Quaid's prison blueprints, and he like, we can escape.
into the Byzantine caverns.
The Christians are
Yeah.
saving the day.
And John Hurd is like, we shouldn't do it. And Jimmy is caught and beaten. Mm-hmm. That's Randy Quaid, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got beaten to the point where it says he lost a
He
testicle.
lost a testicle.
Yeah, they
had like a hernia.
And a
or
hernia.
something.
And now we get the and they're doing gay yoga.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
this got
and it's
weird.
on-
But before
This
the
part
gay
pissed me
yoga,
off.
before the gay yoga, they have this bath scene where the one guy's helping him bathe. Now, I can't imagine. Like, you put yourself in their shoes. Why would you ever go to a guy and be like, "Can you help me lather my back?" I'll just do it myself. I've taken a lot of showers in my day. I've taken baths. I can wash myself.
But if you
I
don't-
don't need a hand.
How clean does your back have to be?
Right.
Like just running water on
Why
it.
does this happen?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, apparently the real Billy Hayes, from what I saw, was upset that the LGBTQ, whatever, the gay prison relationships weren't fleshed out enough.
They
in
weren't
the
loving
movie.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he felt they weren't.
He
fleshed
admitted,
out.
yeah, he said he had a
He
gay
had prison
relationship.
boyfriends and
right.
stuff.
It was loving enough. We don't need to see any more than what we saw.
Yeah.
He's in there for 4 years.
At this point, I don't even think it was 4.
Why do you just turn gay?
I think it was only 2.
Well, how long would you last before you're like, I guess I'm just gonna fuck a dude?
I don't think, in my
3
world,
days.
it's not going to happen.
Minutes.
You know?
I just have to be in a
Not
cupboard
even
with
fully
someone.
rested.
I'm not even trying to sound like tough man guy.
You get off on the charges.
Why would you just suddenly become gay?
I fucked 3 guys yesterday. Sir,
what do you
you were
think?
just speeding.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just anybody. Let's go in the cupboard and do what we gotta
Nice Jack
do. Yeah.
Yeah, they were getting giggled at too by those Turkish guys
Oh,
watching
yeah.
them
And
through
they're
the
like, hey,
curtains.
stop.
Yeah.
And they're all like, he's like smiling in the bathtub. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, everyone knows they're gay, and it's very like sensual and steamy, and like,
Yeah.
but they never
Billy
did
Hayes still does
anything
yoga to this day.
show that.
Yeah.
They just went from like, here's brutality, here's gay yoga. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing in between. It was just accelerated.
The gay yoga pissed me off because I'm like, God damn, these sons of bitches are in good shape. And I'm sitting there eating fucking tater tots. So I'm
Rubbing
literally
your stomach.
Yeah. There's one falls down there. I'm like, worth retrieving, or should I just move
Get it
on?
later.
but like, I thought this was pretty explicitly gay for the '70s.
Oh, yeah.
Like this wouldn't be out of place in like a modern Disney movie, but like
Right.
a '70s movie, I thought that was like pretty like whoa.
Yeah. Well, they said also in Turkey, is like they're like officially homosexuality is frowned upon, but they're like he said it seemed like a lot of Turkish guys were bisexual. This is what Billy Hayes said.
Yeah.
That's what he said in the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's June 1974. He's all excited. He's going home.
Dumbass.
And like, you just know he's fucked.
Idiot.
53 days.
No offense.
53 days away. Yep.
Like there's something about like in the beginning of the day, your girl's like, I'm gonna blow you tonight, and then like that promise goes unfulfilled. It's fucking devastating.
You're like Mel Gibson.
I can't. Yeah, I'm like,
Before
just
the
shut up
jacuzzi.
and blow me. Something like this, where you're like, I'm getting out of prison in 53 days, and they're like, well,
By the way,
You're never getting out. So he's given a life sentence, and now he's in the court, and he just spews like race hate, like from American History X.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're fucking pigs. You're a bunch of pig fuckers."
Yeah.
He's getting his licks in because he knows he's fucked.
and there's
So,
no translator, so they don't know
In
what the fuck's going on.
2007, Billy Hayes went to Turkey, went back, and he did an official apology to the Turkish people for this scene that he that isn't real.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
didn't happen.
He apologized for the movie and how it's portrayed Turks for the last 30-odd years.
because
40 years.
it became a thing where you should never end up in a Turkish
Right,
prison.
and it's like colored their perception around the world. And he felt like he's responsible for
well, it
this.
wasn't helped by airplane. That only reinforced.
I don't think they went back to apologize.
So now they come up with the plan where they're going to escape into
Well,
the
he's bathing
catacombs.
Jimmy first.
Oh, he
Was
is
he trying
bathing.
to fuck Jimmy too?
Well, his Swedish boyfriend leaves.
Yeah.
He gets out.
Yeah, and they hold hands like, oh.
So you think he's sweet on Jimmy?
I think he's sweet on Jimmy, yeah.
Maybe.
Jimmy, he's such a rough and tumble type, though. He's nothing like the Swedish guy. The Swedish guy's like refined.
He's trying to break him in.
Jimmy is fucking. He's like chaotic, man. That dude's just like a walking calamity. Like he gets the shit kicked out of him for trying to escape, and then like the next day he's like, let's try to escape again. I don't give a fuck. I'd be like, you're too much of a wild card, bro.
He has like the mentality of like Steve McQueen in like The Great Escape, you know?
Yeah.
We just got to keep trying to get out.
He tried to go over the roof.
Yeah, and that's when they caught him.
And got caught, and then that's when he lost the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's been sentenced to 30 years,
Yeah.
Minimum
so
30.
Billy's sentence has been revamped. He's now in jail as a smuggler for 30 years at least.
And Jimmy has a guitar. Don't know where he got it.
Oh yeah, he's breaking.
Don't know
his
how he got it.
He's playing a Bob
Istanbul
Dylan-esque
Bulls.
song. Yeah, the Istanbul Blues.
Like you could kill so many people with guitar strings. Why does he have a guitar? Who gave it? How does he get a guitar?
That's a good point.
I mean, people are running around shanking each other.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. Just stay in
point, good
here
point,
and
good point.
let chaos reign. They don't care what happens.
Well, I think they said like if you stab somebody in the ass, it's not treated as a serious crime. It's like above the waist.
Right.
You're treated like attempted murder. Below the waist is like, well, you got your ass stabbed. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
You're in a fucking prison.
You're in Turkish prison.
Yeah.
You should have been looking behind you, asshole.
Always put your back to a wall in the Turkish prison.
So now he's on board with this this plan
Yeah, and they find a loose brick
in like the shower.
in the shower that they're going to use to dig out into the catacombs. And John Hurt, Randy Quaid, and Billy, they go down to the catacombs and it's a dead end.
Right.
And like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll find another way.
And there's
This-
I just want to
made
say
me
there's
angry.
definitely something to this because the city itself is famous for the Romans had built all of these underground catacombs that.
Like Venice.
Well, no. This is built specifically to hold water as like in case a city's besieged and they need water for like years. They have it under like as in storerooms underneath.
Reserves.
Yeah, and they're there. There's a real thing. People go down there. You can see them. Like if you go on the internet, you can look up photos of them. But yeah, there's definitely feasibility to the idea of them digging down under the prison and there being stuff down there.
Did this happen in the book? Or is this
I don't
bullshit?
remember. Yeah,
I think this is a movie thing.
It seems like a movie thing because it's so tropey.
Seems
I don't
ridiculous.
remember that part.
It's like a step away from like a picture of like Betty Davis over it, you know?
Do you remember when we did our first pilot episode?
The Patriot?
No, the other one.
Yeah.
I talked about Justinian II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was this type of shit. He went into the catacombs in Constantinople and came up in the palace to like come and reclaim his throne. So yeah, this shit's mad real.
Okay. It happens. So Rifki, that scumbag, finds the loose brick and immediately snitches,
Why?
which is the golden rule of prison. Don't snitch.
But he's like in league with them.
He's just garbage.
That's how he's able to sell his tea and all his other bullshit.
Why not try to enlist Rifki's help? Be a part of it.
He'll snitch on you
evil,
right
yeah.
away. You can't trust him.
evil.
Yeah, he's completely. You just cannot trust the guy with anything for any reason.
He's
That
out
eye
for money.
too, that
That's
fucking
it.
that milky eye.
Yeah.
It's so nasty.
They should have killed him before they left. Before they went in the wall, just kill him.
Another thing, when they go down there and it's the dead end, why not stay down there and keep looking?
Because they'll just send guys down.
Fine, but you've gone down there, take your shot. This is it. You know, why go back up?
I actually thought it was smart to go back up and hide and come back the next day more prepared. But
So you hiding and it doesn't work.
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
no.
DNA all over the place.
Rifki like snitches and they take Randy Quaid away to be beaten. I don't think we see him again.
Yeah.
Is he in the crazy place at the end?
No.
No, he's not, right?
He's not.
There's a guy who kind of looks like him at first. You're
I
like,
thought
is
it
that
was
Randy
him.
Quaid? And then like, oh no, it's some
Yeah.
other dude.
No, I think they beat him to death.
Yeah, that's the end of him, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he died.
So now John Hurt wants to kill Rifki and they come up with a better plan where they steal all his money
Yeah.
and they destroy it, which I love.
on the
great,
radio.
great revenge, but not good enough. They should have killed him.
Well, now we get the fight where Rifki fights Billy. And you said this is bullshit?
Well,
This is also bullshit, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a gay sumo wrestler. having tea with Max before this.
Oh yeah, well he's happy. Everybody's
They're all
happy.
happy.
Is that a radio or something around his neck?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, the whole prison was happy to see Rifki finally fucking get fucked.
Until he shows up in a suit and you're like, what's going on here? And it's like, oh, he's looking good for the cops.
Well, he brings
then they
the
get
guards
him
in, and they take away Max.
Max.
And
Max
then
is fucked.
It's just emotional rage, where Billy now
Goes ape shit.
he goes apeshit and starts breaking a sink, and beats Rifki like almost to death and
No, he
rips his
kills
tongue
him.
out with his face.
think he
Does he
kills
die?
him. Yeah.
No, I don't think he
It's
dies.
left up in the air.
He stops.
Yeah.
His head falls and he basically stops breathing. It's implied he's dead.
I don't know what he did that would kill him though. You know, like there was no kill move. There.
He just got his ass
He
beat and his tongue
slammed his
ripped
head
out.
on
yeah.
concrete.
Yeah.
Concrete steps.
So he gets Section 13. He gets sent there for the criminally insane. And now it's 1975 in January. And we see these circle walks in the basement where all the characters are circling in one direction, like just walking aimlessly.
Yeah.
And
That's fucking weird.
This weird professor shows up.
Ahmed.
Pedophile guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a pedo. He's a pedo.
They said I fucked a little kid. I mean, it's crazy talk.
Broken machines.
That's a fucking machine.
Like he didn't sell it at all that he
No.
didn't do it. You're like, he did it.
almost instantly it comes up, sir. I was at Yale, and I'm like, oh, you pedo. And they walked. Would you walk the circle? Would you guys walk the circle?
I think I might. Yeah, I would check it out.
Too. Why not?
See what it's all about. See what all the hubbub
Yeah,
is about.
check it out. And they all love it.
I mean, what else are you doing, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's got some light.
Now the girlfriend shows up.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite scene.
I think this is everybody's favorite scene.
Now, real quick, let's be real. There's no way a hot chick like that is waiting around 5 years
Yeah.
for a dude in a Turkish prison.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And then when she showed up and sees the animal he's become,
Yup.
Right.
you know,
He's
like,
broken.
Yeah.
They beat him with sticks.
On top of that, how was she allowed to bring that book in? You know?
Well, they seem very lax as far as what they let you bring in, and it looks like it's just a photo album, so what do they care?
Right.
They couldn't find drugs in a shoe.
Oh, yeah. There's drugs being trafficked throughout this prison constantly.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't care.
Right.
Like John Hurt has heroin.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is an old timey needle too.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
that thing look old, man? Yeah. That might actually be what stopped me. Like today's needles, they look like those little diabetes needles. You just shoot up, boom, you're done. Like those things though, it's like you need to really work it into your vein. It's like, there's a metal plunger and shit.
Yeah.
The kind that'll have something drip.
Yeah, you got yeah.
So this is kind of a Tell 'em Steve Dave question, a story you told, where way back in the day, this has to be 5 or 6 years ago or longer, you had a transient like stripper shoot up heroin and take a shit in a bag, I think.
No,
Fun.
Those
I'm
are two
conflating them.
different stories. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the stripper was. I went to. She actually wanted to be a stripper, but she was too heavy. She was told.
So
this was.
She has high
Yeah,
aspirations.
this was before all this fat acceptance stuff.
you couldn't get her in at fantasies?
No, it was over by the Monmouth Mall. This strip club. I can't remember what it was called now. It's not even important. But I went there, and I watched the girls for a little while. Like I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like not in a good spot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm at a strip club alone. That should tell you everything you need to know. And on the way out, I was going to my car, and I saw these guys pull up, and they handed some girl something. She handed them money, and I was like, "What was that?" And like, why she told me, I don't know. She's like, "Why, are you a cop?" And I was like, "No, I'm not a cop." I was like, well, what is it? She's like, "It's heroin." And I was like, "Are you going to shoot that now, like tonight?" And she said, "Yeah." I was like, "If I give you $200, will you let me watch you do it?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So
Did you
we
jack
went
off?
back to. I didn't. I should
Did
have.
you take 200 back and she passed out?
I'm just going to get in this cupboard. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I'll just be up here. Pull the door back very slowly. So we went back to my hotel room because at the time I was addicted to painkillers.
Oh.
I was looking to make my move into the heroin world.
Oh, so this was research. This was field research.
I just wanted to see how it went. But I had never seen anybody like shoot up in real life. Like I know like the nod and all that stuff. That's one of the things I loved about it. But anyway, so I was staying in hotels at the time. Like I was just living out of hotels. and was over there at by the Monmouth Mall. There's a hotel, I think it was a Ramada, and we went there, and she skin popped a couple times, fucked it up. She didn't even do it right, and then she finally got it in her vein, and like her eyes, like it was amazing to watch. It's just like she's like talking to me like this, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa! It just goes back, like almost like she just passed out. You know, basically she did, I guess.
Yeah.
It was interesting to watch though. And then she kept on like offering to blow me, and I was like, "No, that's okay."
It's
like,
not what we're here for.
Yeah, that wasn't the deal. Like, I don't give a fuck about it. You're too fat anyway.
I'm doing research.
Yeah, I'm here doing research. I'm trying to become a better junkie, if you don't mind.
You found a fat heroin addict.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Usually it's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I'll go in the cupboard. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great story.
Yeah.
How did this end? Like, well, how do you part ways?
Well, we parted ways.
hope.
I gave her my number because she wanted to go swimming the next day. There's a pool in the hotel, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
After all we've been through. Why
Yeah,
not?
I mean, right? We're fucking. Why not go swimming with her?
Yeah.
But then the next day, I was just like, I don't know.
Maybe I shouldn't do that.
I don't know. Yeah, like it was interesting for what it was, but now maybe I'm pushing it into a territory where like now we're hanging out and shit, you know?
Now we're friends.
Because she had been telling me the night before about how like her car was stuck in her front yard because her mom wouldn't pay any car insurance on it, and like I'm like, next thing you know, I'm gonna be paying car insurance or something. So
no.
fuck it.
You're going to be helping her, yeah.
Yeah, I just never returned her calls after that. I ghosted her before ghosting was in.
Crazy.
So
she commits the crime that he got arrested for. She smuggles some stuff in.
Money,
Hasn't
yeah.
learned.
she shows her tits.
Yeah, she wasn't
which
going to
we
do it
all
at
like.
first. Like,
I think with this movie, other than all the feet getting hit, this was like some sex appeal it needed.
It needed some tits.
Yeah.
This helps immensely.
Yeah, like you were ready to shut the movie off. You're like, I just don't care anymore. whoa, wait a second. Hey, what have we got here? Pressed up against the glass as well.
And it's so like it's such like a disturbing scene where he's become an animal.
Yeah.
He's just like and
Show me.
yeah. And she, oh Billy. But like I said, the genius of the Jim Carrey joke is insane.
I wish I saw this before I
Right.
saw Cable Guy, because it's just not only does it make the joke better, but it also ruined the scene for me.
Ruin this scene. Like I'm laughing.
Yeah, I'm cracking up.
I'm watching probably one of the most emotionally bizarre moments in movie history.
Me and him are just
And we're just
laughing.
like, it's fucking great.
Oh, Billy.
Now, Rupp, if you say your wife was doing a little light trafficking, right, and she got busted,
Yeah.
you go see her after a little while, and she wants you to not your tits, but she wants you to press your 3-piece setup against the glass. Like, are you
Not going to be very impressive. I would do
Flatten
it.
your balls.
She's like, show me.
I would do it. I'd press it against
You would do it for her?
Yeah.
That's a good husband.
Oh,
Yeah.
Allie.
There's something I want to say.
You gotta get out of here.
Oh, what about like the horrible code she uses to tell him there's money in the book?
Yes.
Your friend, Mr. Franklin, he's in the back.
Back picture.
Well, do they know who Mr. Franklin is? Like, do we know who's on the Turkish money? You
Mustafa
may.
Kemal.
Yeah. So I love this scene where now he's walking in the wrong direction with all the lunatics, you know, and he's fighting with them. And it's kind of like showing that he's rebelling against this stuff and like,
Right is good. Left is communist. You can't go this way.
and he's broken. He says goodbye to Max, and he comes up with a brilliant plan where he's going to bribe the fat
guy.
sadist
His
guy.
rapist.
Yeah,
Now, why do you say it's his rapist? Because I never thought he was raped. I only thought he was
he
beaten
was
by
about
him.
to, for sure.
He raped him in the first torture scene. He literally puts his legs off and separates him.
He separates his legs and the
it
scene
fades.
ends.
Yeah.
So I just assumed
don't know.
there's so much feet hitting
He literally
Yeah.
that I just thought it was more feet
And
hitting.
all losing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even after after this scene, when they bring him to the sanitarium? Sanitarius? I don't know what it was.
Sanitarium.
Sanitarium?
Yeah.
He starts to unzip his pants like, I'm going to rape
Oh,
you
there's
now.
about to be a rape for sure.
Yeah, he raped him multiple times, it
Yeah,
seems.
well, the leg spreading, I didn't take that from that. I thought that was just more of a like I'm going to humiliate
Yeah.
him type move.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, I didn't take that he got raped until that moment where he was just like, oh fuck.
No, yeah.
that-
All the gay sex was consensual so
Yeah,
far.
Yeah.
like I have a line, and then now I'm drawing it in the sand, man. It's fucking. You're not gonna rape me, dude. Like,
I thought he turned gay because he was raped and was like, yep, this is me now.
I didn't take that from.
Maybe I read that wrong.
This is
This is me now.
Got raped. I guess I'm gay.
oh
What
well.
else is there to do?
Went in a Turkish prison.
Who's got some cock? Pass the cock.
So we get like the final like fight where the guy has his pants around his ankles and he charges him and his head hits like a
coat hanger.
Wouldn't it
Like the
look-
most rounded coat hanger ever. It's like it would have been like, ow. It definitely wouldn't have killed.
Why'd you do that?
You ever see Very Bad Things?
Yes.
It's just like that.
Yeah. You're right.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. And the warden's dead, and he steals his uniform, which like
Which suddenly fits perfectly.
it would look like my clothes on Steve.
Yeah.
Like he'd be swimming in it.
I thought that too. Not that
Yeah.
particular example, but yeah, that would have been a little bit baggier than it was.
But he walks out, and
Nobody
in October
notices
4th,
him.
1975, he gets to Greece.
Yes.
And the movie ends, and there's a bunch of stills, and he gets like a hero's welcome home. Now, how did he actually escape?
So they took him to some like island, and people believe now that due to pressure from the government, they kind of just let him go, and he just kind of wandered off. He crossed he got onto the mainland from this island by doing a rowboat move, like you said before, during a storm, and then he kind of just wandered across the country, swam a river, ended up in Greece.
And like rode 17 miles.
Yeah.
He said. I mean,
Wow.
this is some like. It would be a cool story to have if it's like, and then I was in Turkish jail for a week, but I saw my opportunity, so I made my move, and then he rode the boat across or whatever. Like not fucking 5 years later, like that. Then it's not that cool of a story. Then it's like a harrowing, like fucking took your life from you event.
This is an emotional roller coaster.
But he was still young when he got back because he was arrested when he was 23, I think.
Is that the official number? I'm not sure.
Pretty sure.
Well,
Yeah, he's still a young man when he gets
Yeah,
back.
he was arrested at 23, so he got back before he was 30,
He's
which
in
still,
his-
you wasted a lot of time.
I think he's in his 70s now.
So he was born in 47, and he was arrested in 1970.
There you go.
So he's 23.
23.
Yeah.
He's still alive. He's 75.
Yep. Still lives in the New York area, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
And when you watch that interview, you're like, this guy has to be on speed or something. Like it's unbelievable.
He's a high energy dude.
Yeah, he's like I wake up in fifth gear. He goes.
Well, how old was he when he did this interview?
This is recent.
It looked pretty
Oh, this is
recent.
yeah.
recent.
It's
Oh,
within
wow.
like the last 5 years, probably.
Wow.
And after the movie, he wrote the book.
Yeah.
Well, before the movie, he wrote the book.
He
after
wrote
he
the
got
book,
out.
and the book, from what I understand, is like almost a novelation of it. Like it's not like a memoir.
Well, it's him with
he's
a writer, right?
Yeah,
had a
he
ghostwriter.
adds fictional stuff in the book.
Oh, he read it.
Oh yeah. Why am I taking the lead here?
Did you like the book?
I liked it. It appears to be self-published though, almost.
Really?
Or it's a very small publishing house. Yeah, it's like when you get a book from Amazon and it's like on that real white paper. You know.
How long was it?
It's 240 pages.
Oh, that's pretty short.
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. You can like because I knew the movie pretty well, and so like going through the book, it's like you can pick out like easily
What? Yeah.
what's been fictionalized and what's not.
And
Yeah, it definitely seemed like most of the big things were not big and not real.
Yeah. After the movie, supposedly the Turkish government like put in a call to Interpol to like get him arrested for murder.
Yup. He had like a warrant from
Right.
Interpol for years.
And the murder was obviously completely fake, so it went nowhere.
they just
But-
wanted him because
Yeah.
he besmirched the country.
Yes.
And really, it's more Oliver Stone who got him in trouble because
Yeah.
Oliver Stone wrote all the shit.
And he wrote
he's
all
in
this
trouble for.
like Turk hate stuff into the
Yeah.
thing.
I think he went back and apologized later on, right?
He did, yeah.
It really doesn't help their cause. Trying to like get him arrested for murder they didn't do.
Well, I think it's more like, oh, fuck you, man. You said that about Turkey?
But yeah,
This isn't an asshole racist question. I swear. Like, what is good that comes from Turkey?
Turkish delight.
Like, what is their
Turkish
what is
coffee.
what are their
They're
Turkish-
known
their
for the
exports?
coffee,
Yeah,
the hookah.
yeah, hookah.
The hookah, yeah.
Constant
the Ottoman.
Constantinople.
The Ottoman.
Ottoman Empire. He's making a joke.
love
No,
a good
well, no,
Ottoman.
I think it is a Turkish thing, the Ottoman. That's why it's called an Ottoman. I'm maybe talking out of my ass.
I
with
think
this
you're
one.
talking out of your ass on that one.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah,
Let's look it up.
And, I think a decent amount of terrorism in the 90s or the 70s.
No, they were never known for that, were they?
There was a lot of terrorism when he was there. Like, that's why he got arrested, because the C4 thing, they were blowing up planes. That was all terrorist acts. You know?
So it seems like it would be an interesting place to visit, but like, there's so many places that I've wanted to visit in the past, and like, but like, you reach a certain age and you're just like, I don't even want to go to fucking Mexico anymore.
Right.
You know, I'm afraid of cartels and shit.
No, I don't even think that's age. That's just now.
Is the
I don't want to go to
Ottoman
Mexico.
Oh, the Fez. They got the Fez.
Oh,
I thought that's Moroccan.
Oh wait.
I thought the Fez is Moroccan.
Oh, shit.
like
We're just
Morocco
about to
Mole
credit
War
the Turks
Fez.
with
Wow.
the best hat ever.
But you were right. It was introduced into Europe from Turkey.
The Turks have forever been like the great enemy of Europe, like for hundreds of years. And it's not until World War I where they're finally like put to bed and became kind of a second-rate.
Yeah, they were kind of done.
They
after
had
that.
control of such an important trade route.
Oh yeah, well,
Like, they're
when
like-
when they took Constantinople, that's the reason.
Rest in peace.
Is one of the reasons that Columbus went to the Americas. You know, because the way east was done, it was in their hands, so they had to find a new way. They're important. They're very important.
Yeah.
And now they got a really famous prison system.
Yes.
So it's working out for them.
I think I'm gonna go home and just be like,
They're in NATO.
Yeah.
just
I
take
mean,
a
does that mean
stick
much
and hit
these
my
days?
fiance's foot and see if it actually hurts. I want to know. I want to know like how much of that actually hurt those prisoners.
We'll do a special.
We do it. Yeah, we can do it.
What do you
special.
think, Brian? On the TSD Patreon, we do a
Right.
Turkish prison special episode of the Sunday Jeff Show.
$500 tier.
Yeah,
We watch Steve get the soles of his feet.
yeah.
Who do the beating?
No, who in TSD
No.
town do you think we could get to like really give his souls a good whack?
Get him?
I think Sunday.
If you get him
bet
up,
you-
he could pull off.
Yeah,
that
I'll bet you
character.
Troy.
Troy.
I bet you Troy. I bet she's wielded a nightstick or two in his day.
Well, there's one other piece of business before we get out of here. I
We're
didn't.
gonna do that Turkish wrestling shit. We're gonna grab the fucking
The oil wrestling? Yeah. I looked into that. Have you, like, it's insane.
We talked about that on the show one time. Yeah, it's very weird pastime.
There's like a Turkish oil wrestling thing where it's like you grapple with each other, and the goal is to stick your hand down your opponent's pants. And everybody, and I'm dead serious about this. And
Why is it always gay?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
gay.
yeah, and they have like, and they're all oiled up. And
hurts
there's
with that
like
oil.
a sack attached to like the person's nuts.
A sack on sack.
Yeah,
on
it's like
sack?
tied to their nuts, and you
Sack
want to pull
squared.
the sack and cause them pain. And like,
You'd be great at this. You were
this
doing
is-
that anyway.
You were meant for this.
Yeah.
I'm good at cheating in real wrestling. I'm not signing up to have people grab
You
my
could be
balls.
Al Bryan.
You need to achieve your greatness.
Yeah.
Did you wrestle any girls? Like, were there females on the team?
No,
Yeah.
we had females on the team, but I was like a senior and they were freshmen, so like it would do me no good to like wrestle them at that point.
Oh, they
it would.
they integrated during your tenure?
Yeah, towards the end. And like Curtis High School, they had a girl who was like pretty cute, and like all the guys were kind of scared to wrestle with her because it's like,
They want to get a boner.
yeah, exactly. Or like even worse, like
You don't wanna lose.
you're in a no-win situation because if you win, it's like, okay, you beat a girl. You get hard, everyone's gonna be like, oh, he got hard wrestling the girl. And then if she beats you, you lost to a girl.
Yeah, that's Sage is real into wrestling, and she was like talking about being on the wrestling team, and I was thinking like if she had an opponent, they would be like, great. Like if I beat this person with Down syndrome, I'm an asshole. If I lose to this person with Down syndrome, I'm an asshole. I cannot win. I'm in an unwinnable situation.
It's great for her.
Awesome for her. Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Well, what they'd give her matches, and like a lot of times you'll see, these clips go viral all the time. I'm sure you've seen them, where they have someone go out there and wrestle like the Down syndrome kid or something like that, and they make it look good enough,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Well, in my experience, Down syndrome kids are super easy to trick.
Yeah.
So I can see it working for sure. It's a good system.
If they're happy, who cares, right?
Yeah.
But there's there's one last piece of business. I didn't tell you this, Brian, but I was cleaning my
I hate when he does that.
He gets so uncomfortable. So I was cleaning my dryer vent, and we had like a bird infestation, and I fell and hit my head right after this happened, and I gained the ability to see
Same story.
into
Every time.
Same story.
Well, this is how I gained the ability.
This is the truth.
Yeah, do you want me?
Okay.
And I gained the ability to see into people's past lives.
All right.
And coincidentally, everybody I've seen is someone famous that's well known that ties into their past life. So I thought we could, you could try to figure it out, asking, 20 questions.
He wants you to figure out who you used to be.
who you used to be in a past
past
life. And
Oh, so he knows.
I
knows.
know. And you could ask them.
And it's up to the three of us to figure out who you were.
But they only get one guess each. You have, unlimited guesses or
it's
questions.
20 questions.
Right. Okay. It's 20 questions with a Rupert spin on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I think the rule is that this person
Died
before you were born.
Which,
Right.
when we born, just a quick check.
67.
We're good.
Am I Beethoven? I'm Beethoven. All right.
And it always is
It
kind
always
of
has something to do with your life.
You
Yeah.
Yeah.
ties into your
So
characteristics.
So now we got to start asking questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So am I male or female?
Good.
you're a male.
All right.
Okay, that's a good start.
I think we should ask when you lived. Like, what century?
All right.
He was born 1925 and he died 1966.
Usually you're not that specific. That's
That's very.
I figured I'd help.
25 to 66?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got a time frame. We can cut out Kublai Khan.
Am I Lucky Luciano?
No.
Damn. Yeah, he would have been born much before 25.
Cool though.
All right, so let's start thinking occupation here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I a performer?
Yes.
Yes. What type of industry does he perform in?
Al Jolson. Please don't let me be Al Jolson.
Howdy, 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 howdy.
He's like, no, you're not. He's crossing out the name.
How I love you. How I love you.
He performed on stages.
On stages.
Oh.
That could be.
What about screens? Is he
I
a
don't
star of
believe-
stage and screen.
Let's see the filmography. There are some films, but I wouldn't say that's really what he's known for.
Okay. Is he a comedic person? Are we talking about a comic?
He's a comic.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, wait. What's the guy, the cursing guy? Fucking. Why can't I remember his name now? He went up against the government.
Is it
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce?
It's Lenny Bruce. Yeah, I see parallels between you and Lenny Bruce.
I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. I think, you're a guy who you have your stances and you say what you want. You don't back down.
Like Tom Petty.
that's good.
Yeah.
Listen at home.
Well, that's just a smart thing to do. Well,
Now, we rate.
yeah, we rate the
movie
movies.
of what we thought about it, opinion wise,
How it's accurate or not.
accurate or not. Yeah. I'll start it. I'm gonna start it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right. Put me in my fucking place.
I can't. It's hard to say you enjoy something so brutal, but I actually did enjoy the watch. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was pretty decent for the time period and like the feelings it gave you. And sad to say, it's not historically accurate, but I would watch it again. I don't see why not.
I think you're spot on there. I thought it was a very good movie. I will also give it a 7.
no.
Well acted, well written. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It's not the most accurate thing in the world. I think that's really the only thing I'm taking points off for.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I agree. I would have given it 8 out of 10, but now knowing all the facts and what they fictionalized, I'd drop it down to a 7. And I would also, I'll give it a 7.5 because the score was so good. The music's really good in that movie.
It is
Yeah.
a good score. It's a very 70s movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
this fits
It
in
feels
with
like
like
it
French
very much
Connection
so.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all that
Dog
shit.
Day
Taxi
Afternoon.
driver.
Mm-hmm. And we're definitely coming, like, it's 78. We're coming to the end of like that 70s grit shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Star Wars out already?
Yeah, Star Wars has been out. So it's like that shit's dying. Rocky and Star Wars exist. But
Yeah, it's like one of the last ones.
it has to be, Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. 7 was
Really?
what I had in my head. Yeah.
I think that's the first time we've all
Unanimous.
agreed, unanimously
We all
on a
gave
score,
Braveheart
basically.
10s.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Even I'm mad. I gotta say,
Does that
I'm mad
count?
at myself for giving that a 10
Fuck you.
Why? Because
it's a lie.
but it's a fucking great lie.
Oh, it turned out it's a lie.
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing.
It's like the
Oh,
fakest
yeah,
fucking movie ever.
God damn, Mel.
But it's like, who gives a shit? It's
Well, when
awesome.
we had Walt on, he brought a movie that was just all
Oh,
bullshit.
Invincible.
The whole
Yeah.
thing was bullshit.
yeah. Well, this was a lot of fun.
Thank you for joining
Yeah,
us, Bri.
It was fun. Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
I hope you'll come back again at some point.
Maybe we could do a happier movie.
Or a less happy movie.
Yeah.
Either way,
Have anything you want to plug?
Not really, unless you listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave. That's about it. Oh, and of course,
Would you
if you want to go to Compound Media, would you kindly? Yes, thank you.
Subscribe to the TSD Patreon.
I always try to keep that like just a little bit under the radar.
well, nobody listens to this. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is the one we're gonna. This is the one that's going
What
to
do you use the N word nonstop? I don't know.
Oh, I've been landing fly the whole time. All right, you guys want to say bye?
Well, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you very much. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Now, this is the humiliating part of the show I have to do.
Yes.
And doing it in front of guests is even worse.
Brian now prostrates himself at the altar of Tom Steve Dave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
All right.
and you have to say like and subscribe because we're being seen.
Oh yeah, smash that like button.
We're going to
so
start
into
making
it.
TikToks.
NordVPN.
We're going to start making TikToks with you, Ant. We're going to get you doing dances.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then people slap him in the face with tortillas and shit.
Yeah. Hot chip challenge coming his way.
I can't breathe.
All right. Want to give a big thank you to Bri, the Tell 'em Steve Dave guys, Lannis Record in their studio. I fucking hate.
Always
I hate
fumble.
doing the end of the show. I fucking hate it. Want to give a big thank you to Tell 'em Steve Dave guys,
But
Bri.
it is true. Like you do.
I'm sincere.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not just saying it. I am sincere. Like, we're very grateful that we get to record here. Want to give a big thank you to the Tell 'em Steve Dave guys, Bri, Lannis Record in the studio. Thank you all for listening or watching. We really appreciate it. Please follow us on all social media, Reviewing History, Our View History Pod, all that good shit. Where all those places. Follow me on Letterboxd at Bryan Rupert. I rank and review every single movie I watch. If you want to send an email to the show, you can email us reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. That's it. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.